Well, good evening, North Boulevard. Good evening, NBYG, and everybody who might be joining us from all over the place. We're really glad to have you. Welcome to True North Live. I'm here with Blake Box. Blake, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I guess we'll find out a little bit later why you are wearing this. You've gone up to the storage room again.
Right, up into our costume area.
And you found something else exciting to wear tonight.
Yeah.
It's a very timely, relevant outfit you got there.
Yeah, it's current, as the kids would say.
That's very, yeah. It's actually important. If you're watching the news, you're seeing some news about that. Speaking of news, we have some very important breaking news, everybody. This is where we play a theme song that takes longer than the actual breaking news. I'm told that we have some very important breaking news related to North Boulevard. We're going to bring in a very special guest, our on-the-scene reporter. Let's bring them in. Hey, look, everybody.
Hey!
It's David Young. What's up, David?
Living the dream. Hey, I'd like you to play that music again. It makes me feel like a princess.
Oh, okay. Breaking news. Let's play the breaking news theme again. There we are.
Oh,
All right, very good. David, this is your first official appearance on True North Live. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't really know what it is. What is it, like a theater or something? A live theater? What is it?
Yeah. This is a live broadcast. I no telling how many people are watching now, but we brought you on tonight because there is some exciting news related to North Boulevard. But before we get to that, you may have a word for just our students, in general, that have been kind of going through this whole experience with everybody for the past 12 weeks. Maybe you have a word for them before we get to the exciting news we have.
Yeah, the first word is I was joking about not knowing what this is. The second word is, like when I was a kid, everybody kept talking about, they would say, I grew up in the Great Depression. And when they would say that, that was supposed to trump pretty much any experience I ever had and make me feel kind of bad about any complaint I ever uttered. I think now you're going to be able to say that you grew up in the year 2020, so nothing your children or grandchildren or any of your descendants ever experience is going to be as bad as what you went through. And you guys actually have done a great job. It's been quite a testy year. It's a really rough year, but you've just been magnificent.
Well, thank you. We've had a lot of fun doing this. Our students have really been quite resilient, and we're all anxious to be able to get back together and to see one another, or at least some semblance of that. And it is for that purpose that we brought you in tonight. So, and we got a slide here in a minute. We'll cut to that in just a moment. David, go ahead and tell us. We're seeing the slide now about the announcement you're going to make. So go ahead and talk about June the 7th.
Okay, so we're trying to figure out a way that we can get everybody back together and still honor all the rules of the CDC and the World Health Organization and the governor and the mayor and all that. And so the big issue is masks and people who are 65 years and older. And we found a solution. This Sunday, and maybe another Sunday after this, we're just going to have a big parking lot open service. So here's how it works. When you come on Sunday, it'll be at 9:30, and there's only one. Now, we'll still do the 10:30 thing online, so you can still do that online if you want to. But when you come at 9:30, you pull in the parking lot. If you want to stay in your car, you'll be able to get it on FM radio. We'll take you one direction. If you want to bring a lawn chair or a blanket or something like that, we'll send you in a different direction, and you can set up, and all of us can be there. We think hundreds and hundreds will show up for this. We'll have a service. It'll be about the same length that it has been, about 45 minutes. All the singing, whenever you want to say amen, you can honk your horn if you stay in your car or just shout it out. But I think it actually gives us all a chance to get back together. And I literally think we're going to have hundreds and hundreds of people coming. It'll be our first big time back together. So I want you guys to come, unless you just think, no, I'm not ready yet, in which case 10:30 online.
Well, it's going to be awesome, and we're really excited about it, and we wanted you to be able to announce it so that all of our students and their families stay in your car, bring a lawn chair. It's going to be glorious. So we'll pray for great weather on that day. So, well, David, thanks so much for joining us. Anything else?
Hey, before you go.
Yeah.
Can I have another minute?
Well, of course. Yeah, sure.
I'd like to give some of your students a gift.
Okay. What specific students do you have in mind?
Well, I'll tell you in a second. But first, I just want to say something. I've been singing a lot on Sundays to the audience. And since I started singing, we've had 423 baptisms. I think 17 weddings since then. I have been told that 23 lives were saved, and for some people, I think my singing is pretty much all they have left. And so I have felt, I felt like I should offer that to this group, some of my singing, just as a gift.
Okay.
And I know for some of you, it's probably all you have. And but I mean it from the heart. So can I sing a song?
Well, should we tell who we're singing it to first?
I don't think so. I think we should just surprise them.
Okay.
But you're the guy.
No. Go right ahead. I'm excited. This is a touching moment, David.
Well, so this is a song, we used to sing this when I was a kid. And as my understanding is, it's an old Irish hymn that goes back maybe the time of Patrick, so maybe the 4th century.
Okay.
And I think you can hear the soulfulness of it. And so if I can, just sing this to you.
Absolutely.
Well, you're 1 year older than you used to be. And you're still cool. You still got it. It's plain to see. You're still cool. Yeah. It's your birthday today. That's why I'm here to say, you're still cool. I love you guys.
Wow, that was, I got tears in my eyes. That was very touching, David. That was very touching. Yeah. Hey, the students that were blessed by that, who are our students that were blessed by that, Blake?
Well, they were incredibly blessed. We have Sarah Foster, Ava Grubbs, Kylie Jolly, Reed Pullius, Samantha Elgin. Happy birthday today to Faith Matzel and our summer intern, Shelby Anderson.
Wow, happy birthday. David, what a great gift you have given those students and to all of us.
My pleasure.
There's an old Irish song he sang when he was a kid. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that
really
either.
Special. Hey, David, we look forward to seeing you on Sunday, June the 7th. It's going to be blessed. Thank you for the leadership that you've offered throughout all of this.
Absolutely.
And have a great night. We'll let you get back to the elders meeting that you were zooming in on. Take care. Thanks, David.
So cool.
Thank you, David.
Bye-bye. All right, yeah, that's it. Those are the birthdays in the borough, unlike we've ever experienced them before.
And may never experience them like that ever again.
That's
we'll
right.
See.
That's right. Okay, so I may have our slides messed up because of that, but so there maybe. Oh no, we got it fixed. Way to go, Mike. Hey, here's it's the movie franchise bracket challenge. You've been waiting on the Elite Eight to find out who the Final Four is going to be. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time. We're down to 8 teams, and actually we're down to 4. Voting was for about several days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It ended Saturday at midnight.
Saturday at 11:59
and
Central Time.
We now have our Final Four. So if you are watching along and you've been voting, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's now time to reveal the Final Four. We go to the popcorn region. And our matchup there was a big one, Blake. Who was it?
We had Toy Story and the Avengers movies, and this one was close.
This one is really close to my heart. And both of these movie franchises are spectacular. There's a reason they're in the Elite Eight, but one of them is moving on. And who's it going to be, Blake?
Avengers moves on by 12 votes.
12 votes. That's how close it was. Hundreds of votes came in, and 12 votes. The Avengers moves on to the Final Four. All right, we go now to the soft pretzel region. We had a matchup there, and who was the matchup there?
This matchup was Cars, the 9 seed versus the 6 seed Jurassic Park.
A 9 seed versus a 6 seed. Close matchup here. Both big franchises. Fans of lots of them out there. A huge fan of at least one of them right here. And I'm looking at your face, and you want to move on.
This one?
Yeah, you're not going to be the only one disappointed in this. Moving on to the Final Four by 2 votes. Cars beats Jurassic Park. I'm not sure how this happened. Any idea?
Ian Malcolm talks about chaos, and that's kind of where we're at right now. 2020 is just not that year.
Really unbelievable. But Cars moves on to the Final Four, and it's going to face the Avengers in the Final Four. Let's keep going to the Junior Mints region. There are 2 teams left in the Junior Mints region, Harry Potter and the Back to the Future trilogy, which my family finished watching and seemed to like. I loved and have gone back and watched some of them again, even after last week. It's been great. This was a good matchup.
This was a good matchup.
It was inevitable.
It was inevitable.
Yeah, Back to the Future had a very good run. but Harry Potter by 38 votes.
It's a
closer than I would have imagined.
margin.
Harry Potter moves on to the NBYG movie franchise Final Four. Okay, that leaves us one matchup in the Juji Fruits. Man, those things are chewy.
They're so good, though. I still have some stuck in my teeth.
Yes, I'm still enjoying them from 3 weeks ago. We have Star Wars and the Pirates of the Caribbean.
I would vote for the movie poster alone for the Star Wars on this one.
Yeah, this is great. And so moving on to the Final Four, probably not a big surprise here. Star Wars wins by 108 votes.
And that means for 3 weeks in a row, they've had the largest margin of victory.
The biggest margin of victory. So Star Wars continues to march on. And so, ladies and gentlemen, here is the Final Four. Here it comes.
Man, these graphics just get better every week.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
that's amazing.
I was waiting for that. So the Final Four, here they are. Avengers is going to face Cars. Harry Potter faces Star Wars. Voting is going to be active at
7:30 tonight.
7:30 tonight until midnight on Saturday night.
That's
Remember,
right.
only vote one time. If more than one vote comes in from a single source, all those votes get thrown out. So if you want your vote to count, make sure you go there. All right, our time moves on, and we want to get some feedback on this. Do we really want to do this?
I don't know.
I think we do.
I wish we could go into the future.
Yeah, we may need to go ahead and do this. Let's bring in our first special guest of the evening.
Let me get my stopwatch.
Three special guests. So here we go. Hey, David Rubio, welcome back.
Hey.
David,
What's happening in MBYG?
it's good to see you. And David, I know you've got somewhere to be here in a moment. So
I've got 16 minutes.
well, we don't.
We don't.
We don't. So, but hey, it looks like you're watching something back there. What are you watching, Dave?
I am actually my family, and I told them that I was going to be coming on at 6:35 or 40, and we started watching Cars 3, which I've never seen, and I've still never finished. I'm 25. You can see. You can't see.
I can
but
see.
I'm an hour and 17 minutes in, and I'm 25 minutes away from finishing.
Oh, wow.
I never saw Cars 3.
What do you think?
I'm surprised Cars made it to the Final Four. Obviously,
Aren't we all?
It's a 9 seed. It overachieved. I mean, this is one of those. This is like the Villanova run, you know, from 1985 or 85, where Villanova was the 8 seed, of course, but still, I mean, quite a run for Cars. I think Cars is going to run out of steam against Avengers, but I'll say this: Cars 2, I thought was not great. Cars 3 had its moments early on. About 5 minutes ago, maybe 10 minutes ago in the movie, about an hour and 5 minutes in.
Yes.
One of the great moments.
Yeah.
And obviously, my assumption is we're moving toward a happy ending for Cars 3, but there's no way the ending, no matter how glorious it is, there's no way it's going to be better than Smokey telling Lightning McQueen that the Hudson Hornet loved racing, but racing wasn't his favorite thing. You were. That was a great moment.
Well, I'm going to call you
great.
later tonight because I want to find out. You got like 25 minutes left, and there's some really good moments. And I've only seen Cars 3 one time, so I need to refresh. But okay, so it's going to move on. Have fun watching it, and then Star Wars and Harry Potter are in the other two regions.
Yeah, can we back up to the savory side of the bracket real quick? And can I ask you, have you guys communicated? I mean, everyone is clear on which movies you guys have put in the Avengers franchise, right?
That's correct. Yes,
we've explained that.
4 Avengers movies: Avengers, Ultron, Infinity War, Endgame.
Harry Potter and Star Wars, that's a better matchup for sure. I think Cars has had a great run, but clearly those of us that did the seeding, the soft pretzel bracket was obviously the weakest bracket. I mean, you take Pirates of the Caribbean, you take Toy Story, those probably easily beat Cars in a matchup. I say that. I mean, I would suspect, but Harry Potter versus Star Wars, that's a good one. I mean, that is a really, really good one. Both are fantastic, and I mean that not in they're great, but they're also both just out of this world, elements of magic, elements of the Force, lightsabers, magic wands, dragons, Sarlacc. I mean, it's a tantalizing matchup. Both, one 9 movies, the other one 8 movies. What's interesting is, do you know how many parents have been voting?
No. I mean, there's parents, students, and teens.
Star Wars, what's interesting is Harry Potter had that amazingly magical run from 04 or 02 or 03, whenever it started. They essentially released a movie every year, didn't they, until 2011? Wasn't it like 8 straight movies a year from 03 to 11?
Yes, that's right.
But 2011, no one in the NBYG was in the NBYG then, and the youngest students in your youth group now, you weren't even conscious when the Harry Potter movies started coming out or the Harry Potter books started being read. And Star Wars has been releasing every 2 years, going back to 2015, then 2017, then 2019. So there's a recency bias here that makes me think Star Wars is going to take it over Harry Potter. And what's interesting is, whichever one of these movies loses, the hardcore fans of that franchise are going to be legitimately crestfallen.
Yeah, right.
Because I mean, you're talking about passionate fan bases. Unlike Marvel, I think Marvel fans love Marvel, but I don't think you have the same kind of passion. You know what I mean about that? Avengers, it's just everyone loves it, but you don't have quite the same amount of people who are going to dress up like Bellatrix Lestrange, and show up for the premiere of Harry Potter 7 or whatever. So, I mean, I think Star Wars will win because of those recent movie releases. But it'll be interesting because people who have read the Harry Potter books probably love the Harry Potter movies. They're probably going to vote for the Harry Potter movies, with greater gusto than they would if the movies were standalone apart from the books, because the movies lose a lot. They really do. I mean, the books are so much better.
That's true.
And of course, Star Wars doesn't have the same thing. Now, can I ask you a question?
Yep.
Okay. And I don't know, are y'all back together yet? Do you have teens in the room?
No, we do not. Not currently. No.
Okay. I wasn't sure from my vantage point. It's hard to tell how many people are in the room. Well, my question is, I forgot my question. What was my question? What was my question?
Can I ask the two of you a question?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I remember.
Darn.
So this is about Star Wars. One of the interesting things about this, one of the interesting things for me about this process, I'm going to tell you one right now, and I'll tell you the other one next week if you'll have me back. I don't have to keep coming back. Y'all may be tired of seeing me. But I want to say that thinking about these Star Wars movies, of course, great stories are so powerful. That's why, Skid, if you'll remember from the very beginning, when you and I and a few of our other youth ministry buddies started this process, at the heart of it was we're living in the middle of a crummy story right now.
That's right.
In our lives.
Yeah.
With regard to 2020 as a whole, not just the pandemic. But everything that's happening in our world, in our nation especially, this is a crappy story we're in. And I mean, we trust that the crappy story will become a beautiful story, and that's what movies bring us. There's a mess, and then you get out of the mess, and that's what makes a great story. And you've been a youth minister long enough to know that just about every person we ever see come through our hallways or come through our classes eventually gets himself into a mess. And the power of the redemption, the power of God, comes through when that redemption takes place. And you realize, Chris Seidman would say, that there's a message in the mess, right?
Yeah. Yep.
As we've heard him say before. And so thinking about these great stories and all the tragedy and all the pain and all the heartache that leads to the amazing endings, which, speaking of Star Wars, the celebratory moments where they get the medals and you see all the glory and the beauty. It made me want to go back and watch the entire Clone Wars cartoon series. Because I've got a friend, Brad Chrysler, who's seen them all and knows everything about Star Wars, who just said there's so much more story there. It fleshes that beautiful story out even more.
Yeah.
So I've started watching Clone Wars. Have either of you seen it?
I'm 10 episodes in. I just started it a couple weeks ago.
Are you serious?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, you're a little bit farther than I am. That's incredible that we're doing that at the same time. I'm so excited because good stories, great stories, I can't get enough of. And so, you've got some fabulous stories here. Your final, matchup is going to be great. When are you doing the voting?
Voting starts tonight at 7:30, and it'll go on through Saturday night.
And then you'll announce the winners next Wednesday night
week.
and do
That's
the
right.
final voting?
That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, man. That's so exciting.
We want to have you back next week, and we'll talk some more about these awesome movies. I'll give you a call because I want to hear about Cars 3 later tonight.
And I'll tell you, next week, there's one more humongous takeaway from this tournament that I'm going to reveal to you next week. So that's your little teaser.
There we go. Can't wait. Hey, David, thanks so much.
I love you guys.
Yeah, love you too,
David.
man. Thanks so much for taking time to be with us, David. Take care.
Bye, NBYG.
Bye. Yep. See you later. I love talking to David. He's got a lot of thoughts, and he's fun to talk to. So there's our final four. We wanted to see real quickly. I think we want to bring in our interns. Guys, come up here real quick. Let's bring the four interns in. We got these mics right here. Want to bring them up really fast. We're going to get a special guest on in just a minute. So here they are, everybody. We have Mackenzie and Shelby and Ben and Ross. All right, our final four, guys. You guys get a couple of seconds each to tell us your thoughts on the final four. Who do you like? Who do you like? We'll start down there with Mackenzie. Mackenzie, who we got?
Harry Potter.
Okay, all right. She's got a vote for Harry Potter. Shelby.
2 words, Harry Potter.
Okay, all right. Harry Potter. Wow. All right.
Well, I do love all of these films. Not only I really don't know how Cars made it up there, but I'm gonna go with Star Wars. I love Harry Potter. I love all those series, but I'm a big Star Wars fan.
Okay, all right, Ben. Ross, what do you got?
I'm gonna have to say Harry Potter as well. I think he's got a good chance.
So the interns, if it was just you guys voting, then wow, we see where that's going to go. There's something else you all wanted to do, though, because even though we've already had the birthday song, today is Shelby's birthday. It is her birthday today. You guys wanted to sing to her. We're going to roll the birthday song. Interns, you all made up. Well, Ben grew up in our youth group. All you got to remember are 3 simple words, and as David Young so eloquently reminded us, those 3 words are, you're still cool. Guys, sing to Shelby, and it goes like this. Here we go.
Well, you're 1 year older than you used to be.
Sing it out.
And you're still cool. You've still got it. It's plain to see. You're still cool. Yeah,
It's your birthday today. That's why we're here to say that you're still cool. All right, very good. So, do we have time for this other thing?
We have to have.
All right. So, just so you can kind of get a sampling of these movies in the Final Four, we wanted to go back, a throwback. I don't know what other way to explain this.
Well,
one of our students who's watching right now, who has no idea we're about to show this.
Yeah, we realize that some people haven't seen these movies, and so we want to give you a short clip that kind of brings you into some of the universe of
one of the greatest moments of one of these trilogies, and somebody may say, don't spoil it. Well, we didn't spoil it. To keep from spoiling it, we put it in another language.
Right. We didn't want to ruin it for you just yet.
But those Spanish speakers out there are going to know. So if you've not seen these movies, well, here it is. Let's just show this. This is a scene from La Guerra de las Galaxias. I have no idea if I said that right. But one of our students, Samuel Waldron. Samuel, thank you so much for putting together this awesome project for Spanish class. One of the greatest moments of these movies. Let's roll it. Here it is from Empire Strikes Back.
escape. No me hagas destruirte. Luke, tú no sabes todavía tu importancia. Tú has solamente comenzado a descubrir tu poder. Venga conmigo y completar tu instrucción. Con nuestras fuerzas combinadas podemos terminar a este reino destructivo y traer paz a la galaxia.
Nunca te unir.
Si solo supieras el poder del lado oscuro. Obi-Wan nunca te dicho que pasó a tu padre.
Él me dijo lo suficiente. Me dijo que tú lo mataste.
No, yo soy tu padre.
There you go. So you just saw one of the greatest moments. Samuel, if you're watching, you're going to have to text me what you made on that. I can't remember what you made, but I'm sure we'll hear from you in just a minute to listen to what you made. Hey, well, let's keep going. It's time for another special guest. Okay, we are excited now. We've talked to David. We want to talk to one of a younger member of our audience because we're reaching a lot of younger crowds with this broadcast. And so let's bring in DJ Quarles. What's up, DJ? How are you? Kennedy. Kennedy's with you. How are you, Kennedy?
Good. How are you?
Doing very good. So, we're excited to bring you all in to talk about these movies, but we're more excited about some very special news in DJ's life. DJ, you want to tell everybody watching at home what happened yesterday?
I got baptized.
Yes, DJ was baptized by his dad yesterday. Some of us were honored to be there, and that was awesome. So we wanted to bring you on. First of all, you've been a True North Live regular, so we wanted to bring you on to say congratulations. So we're really proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Hey, what grade are you going into next year?
4th grade.
Okay, all right. So future NBYG student coming down the road a little bit down the road there. So, Kennedy, are you proud of your brother?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the movies, of these movies, you saw the 4 movies you guys been watching?
Yes, sir.
All right, you know what the 4 movies are. Who do you like to go all the way, DJ?
Avengers and Star Wars.
Avengers and Star Wars. Of those two, who do you pick?
Star Wars.
Okay, all right, very close. Kennedy, what about you?
I say the same, Avengers and Star Wars.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right. Which of the movie franchises, Kennedy and DJ, did not make it to the finals? Were you really, really sad, knowing they probably wouldn't, but you really wanted them to make the finals?
High School Musical.
Okay, of course.
Yeah, we figured that one.
All right, yeah, I should have seen that coming. DJ?
Toy Story.
Okay, yeah. Good choices. Well, hey, we are really excited to have you all on. We really wanted to talk to you about your baptism, and that was really awesome. DJ, we're proud of you. You've got an awesome family. Being a part of yesterday was a great blessing to all of us. So we look forward to you being a leader in the NBYG. We know you're a leader in Boulevard Kids right now. Keep that up, all right?
Thank you very much.
All right, y'all take care. Go vote.
Bye.
Go
See you,
vote. Bye-bye.
Quarles.
See y'all. Man, those are great kids.
They really
I love
are.
them. Okay, well, now's a moment that a lot of us have been waiting for. I'm really excited about this as we have another special guest. Our last special guest of the evening. You've never met this person.
I have not.
But I'm really excited about bringing on MTSU men's basketball coach, Coach McDevitt, in just a second. Nick McDevitt, the head basketball coach of the MTSU Blue Raiders, our MTSU Blue Raiders, is going to join us. But just to refresh your memory as to who he is, and Blake, you've not got a chance, we filmed the Stones River Manor video, and so we're going to break into the NBYG video vault and take just a moment to show you a Stones River Manor video that we filmed with Coach McDevitt a couple of years ago. Roll it, guys. Check this out. So Stones River Manor is Sunday night. Now, I can't make Stones River Manor more exciting, but I can make the announcement about it more exciting. And to help me do so, let's welcome the new head coach of the MTSU Blue Raiders, Coach Nick McDevitt.
Thanks, Skid.
Hey, Coach, how's it going?
Going great.
On behalf of the MBYG, we want to welcome you to Murfreesboro.
Thank you very much.
Well, I can say that this has been a pretty dull week, but this right here is one shining moment. You see what I did there? Because that song is the...
I got it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I just want to make 3 points about Stones River Manor. You might call this a three-pointer.
Got it.
All right, so it's at 6 o'clock. We want you to be on time so you can support the residents at the manor, and we're all going to go and eat somewhere as soon as we're done. So on Sunday, let's all travel over to Stones River Manor.
Got it.
So we hope to see you there. Isn't that right, Coach?
That's right. And we also hope to see you this fall at the Murphy Center.
And cut. Oh, we got it. Oh, Coach, thanks so much. I tell you, standing here with you and you help us with this just has me feeling absolutely giddy.
Anyone call my name?
No, I would. Guys, thanks so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate y'all doing this. This is like the first time we've ever had like a really famous person from the MTSU athletic department help us with an MBYG video.
Seriously?
All right, that was great. It was one of our favorites. We were so appreciative that Coach took time to do that. And I think now we're about to bring them in, along with one of North Boulevard members, Drew Shea. Coach, here's Coach Nick McDevitt, everybody. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
And Drew Shea, father of 3 NBYG members. Drew, how are you doing?
Great. Thanks, kid.
This is awesome. Coach, thanks so much for taking time to be with us tonight. Welcome to True North Live.
I appreciate you doing this. Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to it.
Okay, so we wanted to bring you in to talk about the Final Four, and since we didn't have a basketball Final Four this year, sadly, we've been doing this movie bracket challenge, and we're down to our Final Four. So I asked Drew if you might come in to kind of be a commentator to kind of walk us through this, and then I found out something not only about you, but also about Drew Shea, that you all have never seen any of the movies from any of these 4 franchises except for Drew, who saw Cars 1 with his daughters at the drive-in. Is that true, guys?
That is absolutely true for me. I've seen probably a combined maybe 15 or 20 minutes of Cars walking through the room when my son Cooper has seen it, but have never seen any of the other 3.
And Drew, you've seen Cars. That's it. That's right.
Cars 1. That's it.
So I guess, Coach, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You're spending time watching game film. Is that right?
Game film, but there were some movies on that list that I've seen a lot.
Oh, okay.
That did make our Final Four. So
what movie franchises were on the list that you think you would love to see go all the way?
Well, I've seen a lot of the Bourne Identity, Bourne Supremacy, that series, Ocean's 11. Seen a lot of those. So, but yeah, I've got
11.
Yep.
Ocean's 11. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Back to the Future. We've all seen Back to the Future.
Yeah. Drew acts like, we've all seen Back to the Future. Who's not seen Back to the Future?
All of us our age have.
Our age. That's right. That's what I meant.
Yeah. So I'm just curious to know, no Star Wars movies, no Avengers movies. Now, I've not seen the Harry Potter movies, so I can't really make fun of you there. I keep waiting to read the books before I see the movies, which I'm going to do one day. So we thought we'd play a little game with you guys real quick. This game is we're going to name a character from one of these movie franchises. You're just going to each guess what movie franchise, Cars, Avengers, Harry Potter, or Star Wars, you think that character might be from based on their name, okay?
Got it.
All right. Okay, so here we go.
Yell it out.
Yeah, Blake, you want to call one out? Just pick one of those movie franchises and give us a character name.
All right, here we go. First name, Sirius Black.
Okay.
Avengers.
Okay, Coach goes with Avengers.
Out to shoot.
What do you say, Drew?
Well, I'll have to say I mean, can I say the same one? Because that's got to be it.
Okay, that's got to be it. It's actually wrong.
He's smarter than I am, so I thought he would know.
That's Harry Potter. Okay, here comes mine. Okay, Doc Hudson.
Cars.
Okay, he's going to go with Cars. Drew, what are you going to go with?
Well, that wouldn't. I'll say. Gosh, I got to hurry up here, don't I? The Avengers.
We almost called 3 seconds on you there.
He did not pay any attention.
Okay, first of all,
at the drive-in.
Shot clock violation.
Yeah, first of all, Drew, it's from Cars, the only one you've seen.
Hey, I know one character that I remember. You got to remember, the girls were like 5.
What character do you remember? Mater?
Mater.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, everybody
remembers
very good. Mater. He left a lasting impression.
Here comes the next one. Who we got, Blake?
Lando Calrissian.
Lando Calrissian. Is it Avengers, Star Wars, Cars, or Harry Potter?
Star Wars.
Okay, Drew.
Avengers.
Okay, Coach has got it. That's from Star Wars. That's from Star Wars.
Nice.
Okay, here comes another one. Let's go with Padme Amidala. Padme Amidala.
Padme Amidala. Padme?
Yes, Padme. Yeah, or Padme. Some people say Padme.
Well, we haven't had
Harry Potter.
Okay, Harry Potter. Coach goes Harry Potter. He's locked in.
I think I'm going to go with Harry Potter as well.
Okay, all right. That's Star Wars.
We are throwing up air
That's
balls.
Star Wars.
Dang.
All right,
He's got one.
Here comes another one.
All right, this actor or this character's name is Korg.
Korg. Yeah, which movie franchise?
Harry Potter.
Okay, we go with Harry Potter.
One of these has got to be.
Why does he get to go first every time? How come I never get to go first?
Same thing.
Well, I know, but I don't want to look like I'm following your lead every time. You said Korg and you said Harry Potter.
Yes.
I can't go with that. I got to go with the Avengers.
Okay, and Drew is right. Drew's on the board. Nice.
Wonderful.
Okay, nothing but net, Drew. Way to go.
Thank you.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do another one. Here we go. Drew, we'll let you go first. Okay. This one is IG-88.
That's got to be Star Wars.
Okay, Drew says Star Wars. Coach, what do you go with?
Cars.
Okay, all right. Why do you say Cars?
The number 88.
Okay, all right. The number 88.
I figured R2D2. I've heard of that one, and there's a bunch of numbers and letters, so it's got to be.
Yeah. All right, Drew. That's right. IG-88 is Star Wars. I'm not even keeping score. I don't know if anybody's keeping score. It's 2-1.
2-1.
Who's winning?
Drew Shea just took the lead.
I'm up 2 in a row.
Drew just took the lead. Let's do two more.
I thought I had 2.
You have 1. You got all
2 to 2.
My fault.
Okay.
My fault.
All right. We have a scoring table violation here.
I'm blind. I'm deaf. I want to be a ref. Okay. Chick Hicks.
Chick Hicks.
That's got to be Cars.
Okay.
Cars.
All right. That is Cars. They both got that one.
3-3.
Okay. Here we go. We're going to go with Pepper Potts. Pepper Potts.
Pepper Potts. Harry Potter.
Okay. Harry Potter. Drew.
Avengers.
Pepper Potts is the personal assistant to Tony Stark, otherwise known as Iron Man, from the Avengers. Drew, you've just taken the lead. All right, Coach. Let's give Coach another chance here.
All right. This one is Hagrid.
Hagrid.
Star Wars.
I have no idea.
Coach goes with Star Wars. Drew.
Hagrid.
Yes.
Well, since I'm giving him a chance, I won't go with the same one. So I could just play smart defense and just go with him the rest of the way. I got to go a different direction. So I'll say Harry Potter.
Okay, Harry Potter is correct. Harry Potter is correct.
Oh, I'm in big trouble.
So I think he's got. Okay, we'll throw a 2-pointer out there. Here's a 2-pointer. This is a. Oh no, you know what? We'll make it a 3-pointer.
Yeah,
we're gonna go for 3 since this is a basketball duel here. Let's go with which one? Maybe we go with this one here. That one. All right, we're gonna go with Groot. Groot.
That's you, Coach. You got this one, Coach. I have no idea.
Oh my.
Neither do I.
Well, come on.
Okay, Coach. If you
want to go first or second,
Coach, you want to evade
Harry Potter. I'm going to stick with my theory of Harry Potter.
Okay, I was going to give the coach a chance to avenge his other wrong answers.
Oh my God, you said avenge.
Do you want to change your vote? I mean, you can change it if you'd like.
Avengers.
Okay, he says Avengers, and he's right. And Coach McDevitt pulls out the win at the buzzer. All right. Hey,
congratulations, Coach.
That was fabulous. Hey, before we let you go, we really do appreciate this. This has been I could have talked to you guys for like 30 more minutes. This is great. And your competitive nature even comes out in something like this, which is awesome. So, Coach, you're showing your team a movie clip to get them fired up before a big game. Is there a favorite clip from a movie that you show? I know coaches do that routinely. Maybe a cheesy question to ask, but is there a go-to movie clip that you like to show them? It doesn't have to be from a sports movie. It can be from any movie.
Probably not a go-to movie clip. I got go-to movies, but not necessarily a go-to movie clip.
Okay, what about movies?
Well, of course, as a basketball coach, I love Hoosiers.
Yep.
But if Shawshank Redemption is on, I watch. That's at the top of my list.
Okay.
Shawshank, Sin of a Woman, Gladiator.
Okay.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Life.
Okay, wow. Now he's got a wide range, but somehow Avengers and Harry Potter hasn't made it in there. Hey, Drew, what's your favorite sports movie?
Well, funny you say that because we were just talking about. We both agreed Hoosiers is the best sports movie in our opinion, but that could be wrong. But I'm a baseball guy, so
okay.
I sorry, Coach, I like basketball, but I also like baseball. I love Bull Durham. That was some reason that movie was always funny to me. Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
Those are probably two of my favorites.
I think The Natural is probably one of my top favorite movies.
It's a lot of Hollywood. It's a little Hollywood-esque, but it was good as well.
Yeah,
I agree.
Coach, we're excited about the season. Can you give us an idea, are we going to have a season?
I hope so. Obviously with the national landscape right now, things are still up in the air, but I do think there are, signs that it's hopeful that we will have an athletic season. It's not going to look like it has in the past.
Yeah.
It's not going to be, particularly here in the fall with football season. I'd be shocked to see 100,000 in the football stadiums around the country, 100,000 people right off the bat. But, hopefully we get off to a good start here with our fall sports, and we're smart about the way we go about it, and the social distancing, and just really being good stewards and smart citizens to each other so that we're not spreading this virus.
Well, one of the things I like to say to both of you, one of the things about these movie franchises, whether it's Obi-Wan Kenobi and Luke Skywalker, which is in Star Wars, by the way, or Tony Stark and Peter Parker from the Avengers.
Don't know that one.
And then I don't know that I can make some Harry Potter references, but Cars, you got Doc Hudson and Lightning McQueen. You've got a mentor. Whether it's Doc Brown and Marty McFly for the Back to the Future reference.
There you go.
So all of these movies have somebody that really influences and pours into somebody else. That's what we're about in our youth ministry, trying to pour into other students so they can then pour into to others in their own life. And both of you, I've seen Drew do this firsthand as a father and as a leader in our ministry, and then working with student athletes. So Drew, first of all, just thank you. You're an example to me as a father, as a husband, as a believer. And then, Coach, just in the short time you've been here, and I've seen with news stories and talked to some of the basketball players that I've known, you do that for them. You are a mentor for them. You're not just a coach, but you are pouring life lessons into them. And they may go on to play in the NBA. They may go on to other great things, and they may have other records and other trophies and other accolades. But the contributions that they're going to make in the world, the truly great ones, are going to be because of the life lessons you poured into them. And we're really thankful for the ambassador that you are for Murfreesboro. I mean, I can speak, I think, for a lot of people here. We're really proud to have you as our coach.
Well, thank you very much for saying that. That means a lot to me. We try to run our basketball program like a family. We have difficult conversations, just like all families do, some uncomfortable ones, but my wife and I, Lauren, are trying to raise our two kids, Cooper and Katie, with a strong Christian background and with the right values in their heart. And we try to do that same thing with our basketball players as well.
Well, we wish you the best of luck to a fabulous season. Drew, thank you for the work you do with the athletic program there. And guys, make some time to see Empire Strikes Back. Just watch the Star Wars episodes 4, 5, and 6. And there's a great coaching moment in Cars 3, so you can enjoy Cars 3.
There's 3.
Yeah. I'm glad that we can inform you as a part of this conversation.
This has been very informative. I realize how bad I am, and I clearly don't watch enough movies.
Hey, you all, both are very, very kind to come and join us at True North Live. Thank you so much.
Happy to do it.
And go Raiders. We look forward to a basketball season, Coach. Take care.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
That's really cool that we have people like that in our community. I'm just so glad that Drew he's a real ambassador for Christ in a real cool platform, working with student athletes, and he has just a rich influence with them. And Coach McDevitt has done a great job, and he's had a lot to turn a program around. And I hope he's got given a lot of time to do that, because I want him around in Murfreesboro quite a bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. Two great guys.
They do need to watch those movies, though.
They need to watch those movies, and Coach McDevitt needs to come out to St. Rose and watch us defend the ship this year, championship.
Yeah, very good. Who knows? Some of those guys may be playing for him one day.
We'll see. We got some work to do.
You might have coached one of the guys that's going to play for him one day.
We've got some work to do. We got a recruiting trip once in-home visits.
Okay, all right.
Are allowed again.
All right, very good.
See.
Well, we really enjoyed having them on. That was awesome. Hey, we got to keep going. We do have some pictures of the week for you. Here they go. Pictures of the week. We're going to go fast through these this week. Our first one is quarantine art and some samples of coming. You all are sending in stuff that you've made. Haley Derryberry sent this. I think people are going to love this. Check out what Haley Derryberry sent us.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
A cool picture. Haley, nice job. Good shout out there for you. That's quarantine art. And now one of my favorite segments. What a wonderful world. This is an amazing picture. Let's just get Blake singing. Let's just let him. Oh, okay. All right. Next week we'll just let Blake sing. This is a cool picture. This is a baby octopus that is on somebody's pinky finger. A baby octopus is on somebody's. That's amazing to me. I just truly, it really is a wonderful world. I just love cool pictures like that. Now, time for a new segment that I'm calling Reading Rainbow. Blake, did you grow up watching Reading Rainbow?
No clue.
Your mom did.
My mom probably did, but I think that already too many colors are going on, so I probably did not.
Okay, all right. Reading Rainbow. I showed this one several weeks ago. This is a quarantine version of Oh, the Places You Won't Go. You know the popular book. We showed that a couple weeks ago. We have some new ones. Instead of Dr. Seuss, apparently it's Dr. Fauci, The Cat in the Hazmat. Or this one, the Clorox. What a great book that was. Here's another one, Docs in Smocks. Yes, Real Heroes Wear Gowns. That's another classic Dr. Fauci book. One Fish Did Wish to Distance Bluefish. There we go. That's a good one. Or what about Horton Hears the WHO, the World Health Organization. Horton Hears the WHO. And then one of my favorites, Hop on Pop's Zoom Call. Hop on Pop. Hop on Pop was the first book I ever read.
Wow.
First book I ever read when I was a kid was Hop on Pop. And there you go, everybody. That's Reading Rainbow. Nice job. That was great. Okay, we're going to move on to another segment. This is one that we're calling Space Jam. And that's why you're wearing this outfit, right? Okay,
yep,
because this week some of you watched the SpaceX launch, which is cool. The Falcon, named after the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars.
Right.
And that was a really cool launch. I saw a couple of pictures. I saw this one of the astronauts looking at their outfits. This is a cool picture, and somebody put it up against this picture here, which I thought was just kind of cool. And then also, I like this one. Tony Stark, Neil Armstrong, put them together, you get Elon Musk. That was cool. And this was a cool picture. This kid watching the space launch with his homemade space outfit. That was a cool picture. All right, so Godspeed to those astronauts that are now at the International Space Station. I love this one, Sensational Siblings. Let's find out who our sensational siblings are. Here they are. Okay, so these are the Priestleys. There's Emily, and this is Eli Priestley. Okay, there's a couple of brothers there. We want to make sure we get the right one. There they are. I love this one. This is great. And this last one, though, I think is my favorite. I'm not sure what's going on there, but that's a great picture. Way to go. Sensational siblings. Our siblings, we keep moving on. It's the Stricklands, everybody. Helen and Lila Beth Strickland. And let's just see. Lila Beth is really upset about something. Helen is not.
Nope.
Helen doesn't seem to care. But there they go. That's great. All right. And then we have Ben Jenkins and Julia Jenkins. Our intern, Ben Jenkins, I don't know what's going on there. He says he was practicing some WWE moves in the swimming pool, and he said he would often kind of like, you know, I'm surprised your sister survived that. She's okay, right, Ben? Yeah, she's good. Okay, she's good. But check out the flash. That's scary.
I don't know if that's flash.
That is my second favorite picture of Ben Jenkins. Of course, my favorite picture was I asked Ben if he was trying to go for funny, and he said no, he was just really proud of that outfit. There we go. Ben, we want you to find clothes that match that, recreate this picture. That's your challenge. Get on that. Those are our sensational siblings. If you have a sensational sibling, text us a picture, and we'll try to get them in. Okay, the tweets of the week. The tweets of the week. Any idea what's going on here, Blake? Have you seen this picture?
I'm not.
I was confused. I saw this picture. The guy's taking a selfie. I don't understand. He's obviously at the gym. But I don't know what's going on.
I guess the more you sweat, the more you can see your shirt.
There you go. The more you sweat, the more you see the shirt, and then there you go.
Oh.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
I like that. I don't know that I would ever get to that point. I would never get to leave.
I don't know. You probably could have done that today.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I did. Yeah. Okay. Maybe. Long story. This is a graph. This is a graph. Blake, can you figure out what's going on in this graph?
We have an X and Y axis. No exponential growth. We're all just right there at the plateau.
Okay. All right. Here we go. On this side, we have the quality of your breath.
Oh.
Okay. From bad to good. And on the other axis there, we have the number of orange Tic Tacs that we're eating.
Okay.
Right? So apparently if you ate 9, 8, it doesn't matter. Orange Tic Tacs have no effect on your breath. Have you know what a Venn diagram is?
I do know what a Venn diagram is.
Okay. Explain a Venn diagram.
It's something over here, and what matches in the middle.
Yeah, and then where they overlap. Yeah. Okay, so shows on the Discovery Channel.
Sounded like I
and
didn't know
shows
what a Venn
people
diagram
actually
was.
watch Shark Week and Mythbusters fall in there. Or you've got this Venn diagram, Bob the Builder, Barack Obama, and right there in the middle, yes, we can. Okay, and then you've got this Venn diagram, problem versus caring. Your problems, what I care about.
Are you saying that to me? Or are you...
No, I'm just saying. No, actually, the best way to illustrate this particular graph is this picture right here. Your problems and what I care about. There we go. Okay, but my favorite is this one. My middle schooler just remembered there is a lunch in her locker.
Oh, man.
Wouldn't you like to go back and check that out? Okay. Oh, yes!
Yes.
I'm so excited. Baby Ben Todd, everybody. Here we go. This week's Baby Ben Todd picture. We have so many to choose from. But Ben Todd, we know you're watching. We know you love this segment. I was overstating that, I think, by a bit. But here's the picture. There he is.
It looks like his toupee's coming off.
Oh, that is great. And that looks like it's Halle Perry. So I don't know if that is. So, Paula, could you text me and confirm who that is? Maybe a relative, it may be another friend, but it looks like one of the Perry girls. And that looks like he's wearing like a Trump wig or something. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, but there's Baby Ben Todd. That's the Baby Ben Todd picture. Okay, this segment, it's the shout-outs of the week. A lot of folks we want to give a shout-out to. First of all, Alex and Nathan Land. Now, you know why we're shouting them out?
I do know why we're shouting them out.
We got this picture, so you want to tell this story?
Yeah, so we got a picture of Alex and Nathan, and they were at a friend's house, and those friends said, hey, why don't you spend the night? And they said, we will spend the night on one condition, and that condition is that we get together and we watch True North live.
So they made their friend's family, who apparently has an awesome pavilion. They live near a camp, I think.
Yeah.
They set up True North
Live. We have some
live.
outdoor devos, so if you want to pass that number
there you go.
along.
Yeah, we may need to come over there. We may need to have a devo at that very place. So that's awesome. Alex and Nathan, there's your shout out for the week. And then Briley and Kennedy Walker. First of all, here's their sensational sibling picture that they sent in, and they recreated it.
Oh.
They recreated it. There we go. That's a sweet picture there. The reason that they get a shout out is because of this, because we're not having camp this week. These girls said we want to still do camp.
This was incredible, and I'm really upset I didn't get an invite, but
So they planned their own camp for the people in their neighborhood, and they've invited all of their friends over, and they're doing camp without their parents' assistance. They're doing certain camp games that we do and camp songs, and they're leading camp devotionals and classes, and these girls are putting it on together. I'd love to hear how that went. And if there's still more days of camp, we'd love to stop by. So Walkers, let us know. Maybe camp's over. Maybe their camp is already done. But I'd love to see some video or things from that. There's their shout out from the week. That was awesome. Thank you, Walkers. And then finally, the Happy Face pick of the week. So we remember Jack Piercy. We love when Jack comes on. Well, Jack's cousins were a little sad that he's always on and they've not been on. So Tucker and Brooks Bolden went on a trip. They flew to the beach and they sent this picture. Lee, their dad, says, I'm not sure if this is a happy face pick or a stick up. But there they go. It looks like a bank robbery, but there they are. So Tucker, Brooks, we want to have you guys on as guests. There we are. There's your happy face pick of the week. And those are the picks of the week. There we go. Great job. Keep sending those in. Okay. Our pray day continues. We're having somebody pray for the NBYG, pray for our nation, and pray for the world. 366 days of this year, people are sending those in. Thanks to those of you who prayed last week, and these folks are going to be praying this week. So be looking for your reminder. Send in the card that you'll get in the mail. Everybody else, a lot of you have gotten a card in the mail that says, what did you pray for? And then we're putting it on the wall back here behind us. We've already finished the first wall, January, February, March, and April. And now we're into May. And so let's continue to fill that wall up. And then at 10:10.
At 10:10, we continue to post our videos of students that are saying encouraging things. These are students, former interns. We've had Mackenzie Lewis. We've had Shelby Coring. We've had a lot of those people. Continue to send those in. Send those to me so we can send those out. They've been really great and really something to start our days with on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Okay. So one thing we are really excited about, well, two things. One, Samuel Waldron said he made like an 85 or a 90 on that project. Like an 85 or a 90. Hey, the Walkers just say there's 2 more days of camp left to go.
I really want to know how their big game is going to turn out.
Okay, yeah, let's see. So, Samuel, congratulations, and thanks for letting us share that, even though we didn't ask your permission. I'm excited about this, which you can't see or you can't read. But everybody that is watching, students, if you're watching, you need to pay close attention to this, whether you're watching live or you're watching later. If you go to nbyg.org, you're going to see a summer participation agreement. This is where every parent needs to go on. This is a hard copy of it, but you'll go on, you'll fill this out, and it's going to give you permission, with your parents' permission, to participate in some summer events. We now have been given the go-ahead to start some in-group gatherings with the NBYG. This is really exciting.
I want to say thank you to our leadership and all the hard work that you and they have done to make this happen because this is week 12, and that's almost 3 months of this.
Yeah.
And we're ready to be able to get with you and join with you. And so get this filled out. You have to have your parents sign it, no matter if you're 18 or not. Get this filled out so that we can start worshiping together.
And when you show up at an in-person event, we'll talk more about those later, we will have to go and make sure that everybody's filled these out. Just for the time being. We may be able to loosen that later on, but for right now, you need to fill one of these out that says, I give my permission, child, to show up. There's going to be other people. We obviously are going to try to follow as many of the guidelines and keep things clean and safe. Social distancing is difficult with students, but we do have permission to get some students together. We're going to start next week with some gatherings at my house, and we'll do those by grade. We'll probably have the 7th and 8th graders, 9th and 10th, and 11th and 12th, maybe not in that order, to meet the interns so that you can have some groups. Since we didn't get to meet them at camp, you're not going to get to hang out with them at Impact. We want to have some times where you come over, just hang out at our house and get to know them. We're going to have another broadcast on the 10th and maybe on the 17th. The 24th will be Impact. So Impact will be going on. Maybe there'll be some Impact watch parties, perhaps even in the filling station. You got to fill out that waiver. And then in July, we've already got some homes lined up, homes we've been to before, to go for the 5 Wednesday nights in July. We're going to have devotionals together. We'll be able to worship together and sing together. We're really excited to announce this, but you do have to have that waiver filled out. You just go right to nbyg.org. You fill it out. It's good for the whole summer, okay? And then we're going to start announcing some of those gatherings. And then something that we want every NBYG student to participate in that we're going to talk about next Wednesday night, we're going to unveil something that only for the strong of heart. You're either in or you're out. And if you want to be in on this, the interns are going to tell you about it next week. We're really excited about it. Something to get us together and I'm not going to say any more about it, but some other gatherings are going to happen starting next week and then in July. Really excited about that. We really look forward to seeing you again. We've loved this broadcast, but on the 17th of June, we're probably going to shut this down, at least for the month of July, with hopes that on August the 12th, we are back together for True North in this room with you there. And I could get a little emotional thinking about that. That's going to be exciting. So fill that out, okay? I think that was everything that we wanted to talk about regarding that. We good?
We're good.
Okay.
It's exciting.
That was awesome.
A little emotional, but
we look forward to seeing you all. I want to transition here. I'm going to keep Blake up here for just a moment to kind of dialogue as we always do a teaching portion, and we don't have a tremendous amount of time left tonight, but there's something really, really important that I want to get to. If we've all been watching the news, and not just with what's going on with this pandemic, but as we've watched some really horrifying images come across our screen, I want to get to talk about that in a minute, but I want to work our way there. And I want to start with something a little lighter, and then it's going to get a little bit heavier. But I think as we go into Scripture tonight, there's something that we really all need to talk about together. I may have shown this to our students a year ago or maybe 2 years ago. So some of the MBYG students that are watching have seen some of the stuff we're about to talk about. But that's okay. I think those watching at home, parents, you didn't get a chance. I'm going to call this adding ing to movies. Now, this is a little silly. This is not the important part. But for example, Jurassic Parking, a movie about teaching dinosaurs how to drive. When you add ing to that, it becomes a less exciting movie. Or The Dark Knighting, the Queen trying to knight people in a dark room. It's a completely different film. Lord of the Ringing, the master of prank phone calls. Or what about The Karate Kidding? A wise martial arts teacher sabotages a young boy's training with lighthearted jokes. It's a very different movie. Or James Bonding. This time it's personal. Or, I like this one, The Aging of Ultron. He just gets older as he goes. You kind of follow him through his life. Or Fasting and Furious. Now it's about angry, hungry, religious folk, all right? There you go. Or Staring Wars. Don't ever blink. It's a much less exciting movie. Ironing Man, the stay-at-home dad. When you add ing to these movies, it really changes. They're not as exciting. No. But Blake, when you take this word, love, most of us think about Valentine's Day. Or maybe we think about these candy hearts. We think about weddings, which you've got one coming up very soon. Yeah. And how many days now?
Probably like 10. Well,
a week
and a half.
Yeah, that's right. 10 days. Blake and Lizzie get married, so congratulations. So you're definitely, you have love on your mind. Or in my family, we think about Hallmark Christmas movies. I mean, we all know everybody falls in love there. But when you add ing to this word, love is more like a noun, but then it becomes loving, and it becomes an action. I want to think when you add ing to movies, it changes the movie not in a better way. But when you take love, something that everybody just hopes happens to them, or something that they want to fall into, but when you add ing to love, you get an action, loving. So let's start there. Now I want us to think about the idea of neighbors for just a moment. There's a passage we're going to look at from the Gospel of Luke. But this word neighbor, most of you have neighbors. Some of you have neighbors that live maybe further away. But most of you have a next door neighbor or somebody across the street. And this word neighbor comes from an Old English combination of two words, nia gabor. This idea of one of those words, Blake, means to farm or to grow, and then beside. I think actually the first one is beside, and then Gabor is to grow, if I've got that right. But it comes from two different words that mean to grow beside. It was actually meant the farmer next to you, because early on, all of your neighbors were going to be farmers. So this word that we all use a lot, neighbor, really comes from this idea of who is it that grows beside you. So I did a wedding during the pandemic. There was only 10 people at the wedding, and it was a backyard wedding for a former NBYG student, and they were actually neighbors. They grew up just 2 houses down. Wow. They weren't dating during that time. They didn't meet till college. When they got back from college, they knew they'd grown up beside each other. But in high school, she would always say to him, "Hey, neighbor." She didn't really know him, But he slowly started liking the fact this girl was talking to him. And when they got married, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go back to this idea of a neighbor is somebody that grows beside you. It's the person that grows beside you. You're about to get married, and you're about to have somebody that you're going to grow along beside. So another lighthearted moment before we turn the page here. I want us to look at some famous neighbors. Now, we all discovered that Blake has never seen Gilligan's Island. So some of you, there's a delay here. So Brent Rosser, if you're watching, you can probably text Blake and I and see if you can maybe help him identify who these people are, because you're probably going to know a lot of these. And I think maybe you might have done this before even, I'm not sure. But this is a neighbor from a famous television show. You have any idea who this is?
Mrs. Mabel.
Mrs. Mabel. You just made up a name. Okay. No, this is Miss Kravitz from the TV show Bewitched.
Oh, Ezra's watching this right now.
Really?
Yeah, he calls it The Witch.
Okay. All right. Very good. So you're going to see Mrs. Kravitz. This is Popular Neighbors. Do you know what show this is from?
Yes, I Love Lucy.
Okay. I Love Lucy. Another one of Ezra's favorite shows.
Yes.
This is Fred and Ethel, the neighbors there. All right. This is one of the more famous TV neighbors of all time.
No clue.
Okay. This is Eddie Haskell. He actually, the actor playing Eddie Haskell just passed away a couple weeks ago. Sad day, but this is one of the favorite TV neighbors. This is one of my favorite TV neighbors right here. Any idea who this neighbor is? What show this is from?
Nope. I don't know. I almost said Everybody Loves Raymond, but it's not.
Looks a little older than that. This is George Jefferson's neighbor, Mr. Bentley.
Okay.
One of the more underrated TV characters of all time, in my opinion. This is a tough one.
What's the actor's name? Can I ask?
Well, I don't know the actor's name.
Oh,
I know his name is Larry. I'll tell you that much. The actor, the character is Larry.
Oh, well, Larry.
Okay, yeah.
Got it.
Mike, who's this from? Okay, very good. This is Larry from Three's Company. This right here is one of the 80s favorite neighbors.
Brent's got them all right so far, by the way.
Okay, all right, very good. There's a delay here, so I don't know if Brent will know this one. Mike, you should know this. Who is this? Do you know what show it's from? No. Well, she played a role on Seinfeld. This is Mrs. Achmonic, who lived next door to Alf, alien life form. Some of my favorite neighbors growing up, this is Gordon and Susan. Gordon and Susan lived right next door to Oscar the Grouch on Sesame Street. I've actually got them in my office. These are some figures I have in my office from a Sesame Street playset. This is another popular neighbor. Okay, this is Winnie Cooper, the neighbor of Fred Savage's character on The Wonder Years. All right, we all know this.
The Simpsons. No clue who he is.
Yeah, this is Jeff Walling.
Never.
Who's no? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. There's not a chance he's watching this. Is that right? Surely he's not watching that. Yeah, this is Ned Flanders. Hi, diddly ho, neighborino. He's the neighbor of The Simpsons. You know this one.
Yes, Patrick and Squidward and SpongeBob.
Okay, very good. Some other famous neighbors.
Oh, Mr. Feeney.
Yeah, that's right. Good
I
job.
love this show.
Yeah, from Boy Meets World. Okay, good. And then?
It starts with a K. Kimmy.
Very good. Nice. Okay, we're good. Kimmy Gibbler.
We're into the 90s, guys.
From Full House. Okay, all right, very good. This one's a little
Urkel.
tougher. Yeah, Urkel. You got Urkel.
Yep.
Urkel from Family Matters. All right.
Babette.
Yeah, this is Babette. Wow, good job. From?
No clue.
This is Babette from the Gilmore Girls. Okay, and then this is a Disney Channel neighbor.
Mrs. Dabney.
Mrs. Dabney from?
Good Luck Charlie.
Okay, very good. From Good Luck Charlie. Very nice. And then one of my favorite neighbors of any movie or TV show. You know this.
I do?
Yeah.
What movie is this?
You have to know this neighbor. Well, if I gave it away, that's the answer. He's like, what movie is this from? That would be the answer. I'd be telling you the answer. I don't know his name.
I don't know.
I'm sure he has a name.
I may not have seen this movie. I don't know what it is.
This is the neighbor of Kevin McAllister from Home Alone.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen Home Alone.
You've not seen Home Alone?
I've not seen Home Alone, and I've wanted to keep it a secret for a long time. So, yeah, I've not seen Home Alone.
Okay. 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 All right. Okay. I thought it was bad when you told me you'd never seen It's a Wonderful Life. This is taking it to another level.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to sit with you when you watch this.
Okay. We'll
okay.
find
Oh,
time.
my goodness. All right. Now, you know this.
Oh, Kramer.
Yeah, of course. That's a famous neighbor. And then
Wilson.
Yes, Wilson, probably the social distancing champion, right? This is Wilson from Home Improvement, and this is a Halloween costume that somebody sent me a long time ago. I love this one. All right, so there you go. But when I think about neighbors, Blake, you know me, anybody that knows me know, when I think about neighbors, I think about this particular guy right here. I think about Fred Rogers. I've got this bumper sticker in my office. And, you know, Fred's song, I've always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. Earlier on one of our broadcasts, we had David Newell, who played Mr. McFeely. So let's go to the definition of the word neighbor, because that was a big word. I mean, Fred called everybody his television neighbor.
Right.
And, you know, a neighbor is somebody who lives near another. This is the definition. Or a person or thing that's near another. Or one's fellow human being. Or an adjective. I didn't even realize we talk about a neighboring or a neighbor nation. But, you know, I did not know that neighbor is also a verb, like love, loving. It means to place or to bring near. If you neighbor two things, you take two things that are far apart and you bring them close together. To neighbor something. Now, I want you to think about that for a moment as we go to Luke 10. I've asked Blake just to read a portion of this story that most of us remember.
On one occasion, an expert in the law stood up to test Jesus. Teacher, he asked, what must I do to inherit eternal life? What is written in the law, he replied. How do you read it? He answered, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. You've answered correctly, Jesus replied. Do this and you will live. So there's this one part right here, Blake. You've answered correctly. Can you imagine Jesus asked you a question? You've asked him a question, and as he often does, by the way, I think Jesus only answers questions directly 3 times in Scripture. I could be wrong, but I think there's only 3 times that he has answered a question directly. Most often he answers a question with another question. And so he says, what's written in the law? How do you read it? So the guy gives an answer. And then Jesus says, you've answered correctly. How would you feel if Jesus asked you a question and you give the right answer? I mean, I would feel pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd definitely like a fist pump.
I mean, it's like when you're playing Bible Bowl and you get the right answer, right? You're like, I got to get the right answer. Or even better than that, Jeopardy. You get the right answer and you win some money. Or a better place to get a right answer is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Or even, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? You get asked a question and you're like, I should know this. And you come up with the right answer. So Jesus says you've answered correctly. And then what does he say?
He says, do this and you will live.
Think about those words, students. Do this and you will live. I don't think he means if you don't do it, you're going to die. But he means if you really want to live, you have to do what? What was the answer? The last part of the answer the guy gave.
He said, love your neighbor as yourself.
Very good. Love your neighbor as yourself. This is extremely difficult to do. And then, look, the guy wants to justify himself. So he asked Jesus a question. What's the question he asked, Blake?
He says, who's my neighbor?
Who's my neighbor? So I want everybody watching at home to just look at these 2 verses, 28 and 29 of Luke 10. Do this and you'll live. And the guy says, well, who's my neighbor? I'm going to take away everything, those 2 verses, and I want to put up 28 and 29. And I want to suggest to you watching at home, Blake, we live in there's 28 where we've given an answer. We know the answer. We know the church answer. Love your neighbor as yourself. And then Jesus says, do this and you'll live. And then in verse 29, he says, who is my neighbor? If you're watching at home live or after the fact, you realize that you're in between 28 and 29 right now. I mean, showing up for True North, showing up for church, reading your Bible, we got all the Bible answers. Jesus would ask you a question, a lot of you could give the right answer. And he says, yeah, do that, and you're going to really experience life. But then there's verse 29, where you say, who is my neighbor? So I want to go back to Fred Rogers. I'm not going to take the emphasis off Scripture, but Fred Rogers was a minister and lived this out, and he probably gives the most beautiful illustration of this as we turn now to some images that we've seen on the news recently. There's a booklet of Mr. Rogers' quotes called Let's Make the Most of This Beautiful Day, and there's a part of the quote on one side and part on the other side. And he says, deep within each of us is a spark of the divine just waiting to be used to light up a dark place. Within every person watching, there's a spark of the divine. So I want to introduce you to one of Fred Rogers' greatest friends. His name is Officer Clemmons. Some of you know this story. I actually posted about this a couple of days ago. I've had several friends that have sent me the picture and said, have you ever seen this picture? It was in 1968 that he first meets Francois Clemmons. He hears him singing. Fred hears Francois singing on a program, and he reaches out to him because Fred loved music. And he invites Francois Clemmons to come on to the Mr. Rogers Neighborhood program. Francois Clemmons would play Officer Clemmons, and he would play that role for 31 years. He was, I think, 25 when he started. He was the first African American to have a recurring role on a kids' TV series in television history. Some of you that grew up watching Mr. Rogers, you may remember Officer Clemmons. Well, Fred said, I want you to play a role on the program, and I want you to play Officer Clemmons. And Francois said, wait a minute, you want me to play a police officer? And he said, yes. You can be a singing police officer, because Francois said, I'll come on the program, but it can't interfere with my singing career. And he said, no, I want you to come on and I want you to sing. And he said, Fred, I can't play a police officer. Fred said, why not? Well, I want you to watch a short video, and I want you to hear it from Francois Clemmons' own words, and we'll come back to the story of Fred and Officer Clemmons in just a minute. Watch this. So Officer Clemmons, Francois Clemmons, said, I don't want to play a police officer. He said, because where I come from, the police are the enemy. And Fred said, I want to be able to redeem that image. And I want children to be able to see you playing this role and singing these songs and pouring words of affirmation. And so he agreed. The clip that Francois referred to was a clip that they first actually did in 1969. In 1968, there were some horrifying images of what was taking place in our country that are very similar to those images that we've seen on the news recently. There was a guy that owned a hotel and was pouring chemicals into the pool to get people of color off of his property. And it was a story that made the national news. Shortly after that, Fred Rogers wrote a scene where he was washing his feet in a pool on a very hot day. Officer Clemmons shows up and he says, hey, Fred, what are you doing? He says, well, I'm washing my feet. Why don't you join me? And he says, oh, well, I can't do that. I don't have a towel. And Fred holds up a towel and he says, you can share mine. And they put their feet into the water and they talk about how refreshing it is. There's a scene where Fred looks up at the camera and he says, there's nothing like cool water on a hot day. They share the water together, and then Officer Clemmons says, well, I've got to get back to work, and he starts to dry off his feet. And Fred Rogers says, here, let me help. And he takes the towel, and he stoops down, and he begins to dry off Officer Clemmons' feet. He looks up at the camera, if you watch the clip online, which you can find, with this knowing smile that says, I want you to see what I'm doing. I want you to see that both of our feet are in the same pool. And I want you to see that I'm drying off the feet of this neighbor and I'm washing his feet. Clearly a reference to another passage of Scripture. And then Fred has a line, sometimes just a moment like we just shared can really make a difference. He looks once more at the camera, hoping that the children that are watching and their parents will understand that he's not just talking about two men washing their feet in a cold pool on a hot day. Sometimes just a moment like we just shared can really make a difference because we're neighbors. We're taking things that are apart and we're neighboring them by bringing them closer together. Well, years later, in the late 90s, this scene was recreated. You saw it in that other clip. They did the exact same scene. They acted it out again because there were some other images that were showing up on the news that reminded Fred of those images from the late 60s. Fred Rogers began his show in 1968, right in the middle of the Cold War, right in the middle of the Civil Rights Movement, right near the assassinations of Dr. Martin Luther King and Robert Kennedy. His show started in that context, and Fred Rogers dealt with all of these with children on his show because he said kids need to talk about these things. I love this image. It's one of my favorite images of all of the images that I've collected from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. So much so that I wrote to Officer Clemmons and I have an autographed picture of Officer Clemmons in my office of this particular moment. And this image has never been more poignant or more meaningful than it has been this past week. As I watch those clips and I contrast them to the horrible images that we've seen on the news, May 23rd is declared 143 Day. You know, Mr. Rogers loved the number 143 for I love you. I has one letter and love has four and you is three. 143. And he said on the 3rd day of the year, I want us to do something to love and serve other people. As I'm watching the news, I think it's time that we maybe make every day a 143 Day. This image of the heart, why does it look that way? Because a heart doesn't look like that. If you've ever seen a human heart in an anatomy book or on some documentary, you've seen that a heart doesn't look like that. But it looks very much like two hearts put together. The heart that we get for Valentine's Day is not one heart, but it's two. They're neighbored. They're growing alongside one another. There's a poster that I have that says there are 3 ultimate ways to success. Fred Rogers said this. The first way is to be kind. The second way is to be kind. And the third is to be kind. And as David Newell reminds us, try your best to make goodness attractive. That's one of the toughest assignments you will ever be given. It's right up there. It's another way of saying, love your neighbor. And then the guy says, well, who is my neighbor? Jesus tells a story about a man that was beat up by a group of robbers. And that there are some passersby, a couple of people pass by, religious people that have all the right answers. They could answer all the questions. If Jesus asked them a question, they would nail it. And he would say, you've answered correctly. Do this and you'll live. And then they say, well, who's my neighbor? And so he begins to tell this story to this guy. At the end of the story, he says, which of these 3 do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of robbers? The expert in the law replied, the one who had mercy on him. I've always wanted to know how he answered that question. I don't mean the words, because we have the words. Did he answer it with the one who had mercy on him? Did I get it right? Or, I know the answer to this. There was the one who had mercy on him. My guess is, based on the guy that asked the question, how do I inherit eternal life? Well, what does the law say? Love your Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. And then Jesus said, yeah, you've answered correctly. Do this and you'll live. Well, who's my neighbor? He tells the story. And then he says, which of these 3 do you think was a neighbor? Students, by now you know that the Samaritan, we think of a Samaritan as a good word. It would have been a very racially charged word to the audience in which it was first told. And when he hears it, I don't know, but the man might have answered the question when Jesus said, which of these men was a neighbor? The one who had mercy on him. The man's stuck. He knows the answer. He knows what he has to say. He's stuck between verse 28, knowing the right answer, and verse 29, where he says, go and love your neighbor. Go and do likewise. Jesus says, go and do likewise. So students, that's where we are right now. If you're watching me, if you are a male or a female, if you're a 7th grader, a 12th grader, a college student, if you're a believer or you've not yet professed belief in Christ, regardless of the color of your skin or where you live or what school you go to, we find ourselves in a 28-29 moment. We know the answer. And then Jesus says, who's my neighbor? Jesus tells us the answer. And he says, go and do likewise. I've thought a lot about what do you say? Especially speaking as a white person, what do I say to my African American brothers and sisters, my Latino brothers and sisters, my Asian brothers and sisters, all of them here at North Boulevard? And these images have been heartbreaking. And I've thought about long sentences and posts on social media and speeches and I just don't know the right words to say, and I don't want to say the wrong things. I had a great conversation with a student last night with a bunch of us where I just asked this student, I said, tell us what we need to know and tell us what we need to hear. And he gave beautiful words of instruction and beautiful thanks that we even asked the question. All I know to say is that we are in a go and do likewise moment. Jesus said, you know your neighbor. And I want you to take things that are apart and I want you to neighbor them. We in the NBYG, we stand against every act of violence against those of color. We stand beside you and we support you and we love you and we're your neighbors and we want to listen and to learn and you to tell us how we can love you. We oppose every act of injustice. We want the NBYG to be a place that when you walk in this filling station, that it doesn't matter the color of your skin, you look and you realize that you are welcome and that we're going to judge people by their character and not by what they look like on the outside. We want to ask the question, who is our neighbor? Don't just go around spouting off all the right answers. And Jesus says, you've answered correctly. Now, do this and you will live. But who's my neighbor? Then Jesus tells us. And probably some of us bow our heads when we're told, what do you think I really want you to do here? Who do you really want to act like in this story? And it's time for a lot of us to look up and say, the one who had mercy on him. And Jesus says, go and do likewise. And then you'll be living out this definition. To place or to bring near things that are apart. To which Fred Rogers would say, Roger that. And to which he would also say what he said to Francois Clemmons after they spent that moment in the pool. He's dried off his neighbor's feet, as Jesus did in John 13, when John tells us that he showed the fullest extent of his love by stooping down. Even the feet of Judas. Even the feet of Judas. And he washed Judas's feet. And then he tells everybody there, as I have done, you should go and wash the feet of others. Go and do likewise. I don't have the answers. I don't even have very comforting words. 2020 was already crazy enough without all of this. But I want everybody watching to know that we love you. And I want to challenge the students and parents to find somebody this week to neighbor. Somebody that you might not look like, or you might not live near, or you might not know them, and find a way to be a neighbor to them and to bring something that is apart and bring them together. I'm challenging you to go and do likewise. That's the only answer I have to all of this that I'm watching on the news. And then when you're done, I pray that somebody, a stranger at Walmart, a neighbor on your street, somebody in your family, a teammate at football practice, somebody that maybe you are estranged from, somebody on a street corner in a protest, somebody that might be an officer, or someone that might be a public servant, or somebody that might feel like they don't feel safe to go outside and walk because they don't know who their neighbors are, that one of those people will look at you after some act of kindness and say what Fred Rogers said to Francois Clemmons. Sometimes just a moment like we just shared can really make a difference. Be a part of that this week. Love your neighbor as yourself. Go and do likewise. God bless you. We look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great night. Take care.